Какой у тебя раз?
Ну, это было мысли.
Блин, все классно. Мне не нравятся тоненькие парни, приветики. Мне не нравится твоя прическа. Я пыталась быть доброй вначале, честно.
Я уже научился. Организация массовых мероприятий.
Я организатор. Ты низкий.
Ты мне не нравишься.
Пока.
Вообще слышал, как она общалась. Такая немножко завышенная.
Hello, everybody. This is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back again with more Warcraft 3, another topic, and more commentary for everybody.
Oh, what do you mean, snubby little twop? Oh, fine. Just don't ask me to do anything else for you. Ew. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell if you like this stuff. Bye, girl.
Yes, I'm very well aware of how annoying my voices can be. But anyway, let's get into today's subject. And today's subject is the topic of the difference between narcissists and entitled people. Now, I can already hear a few more people sitting there saying, Ghost Hunter, there is no difference. Both entitled and narcissist people are one and the same. Well, as much as I'd love to sit here and agree with everybody, that's not the case here, sadly. Now, why do I sit here and say that's not the case, sadly? Well, let me just put it to you this way from my therapist. When I told him there is a distinct distinction between a narcissist and somebody who is entitled. And he asked me what that was, and I told him in the strictest sense, a narcissist says I'm right because I say so. Entitled people say I'm right because I feel. That's the big difference there, folks. But if you don't believe me, from the Narcissist Injury Care Foundation, narcissism involves excessive self-focused entitlement, admiration-seeking, and lack of empathy. However, there can be other things that go along with this. Now, does this mean that every person who you meet in this way is going to be a narcissist or entitled? No, that's not what it means at all. But the thing that we have to remember here is that difference. So, with that being said here, entitled. An entitled personality-driven trait by exaggerated feelings of deservedness and superiority may lead to chronic disappointment, unmet expectations, and habitual self-reinforcing cycle of behaviors with dire psychological and social costs. Now, with that being said here, as I stated earlier, this is the difference between somebody who is entitled and somebody who is a narcissist. Now, from my little hook video there in the beginning, what do we all think here for a minute? Do we think she's a narcissist, or do we think she's entitled? Now, I can hear plenty of women saying, oh, she has her preferences, Ghost Hunter. She's allowed to have them. I'm not sitting here saying you're not allowed to have your preferences at all. Men have preferences, women have preferences. Even though women describe men having preferences as, oh yeah. That a man is a pig if he wants his woman to be his idea of attractive. Yeah, I hear ya. I don't really give a darn about what you say somebody else thinks should be attractive. Gee, that sounds a bit entitled or narcissistic. But, you know, I'm making a very sweeping generalization there. I'm not sitting here saying all women are narcissists or all women are entitled. I'm not saying that in the slightest here. What I'm saying is these are traits here. These are traits, and everybody tends to have these traits. Although there are people out there who have tried not to having these traits, I'm pretty sure there are, but it still doesn't mean you don't get those, excuse me. Now, the smarter people are going to say, okay, Ghost Hunter, where is your empirical data? Where are your studies? Well, to put things in a nutshell here, I'm not going to be using any studies for this. Why? Well, to be flat out here and honest, there's no way we can have a guarantee of honesty here. Huh? What do you mean, Ghost Hunter? Academics have to be honest. You know, there is such thing as peer review. Yeah, that's true. But in the wonderful world of modern academics, you'll find that there are more and more people who are interested in preserving their point and the validity of their study. Does that make it right? Heck no. But what do? Not a lot. Now, as an example of this, here's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's say a psychology doctor, not MD or a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist here. I'm not talking about people like this. I'm talking about a professor who has his doctoral degree in psychology, and he wants to write a study about narcissists. You know, he fills in his parameters, and as he fills in his parameters, oh my gosh, he realizes that if he does this study by these parameters that have been peer-reviewed in the past and said, you know, we have found that this measurement is accurate, what happens? Oh, look, he checks all the boxes for a narcissist. Do you think he wants to post that study and that says, oh, look, a narcissist making a study about himself and how much of a smart person he is? Yeah, no, there's no way in heck anybody is going to do anything like that. So what's he going to do? He'll change the variable so that way he's not a narcissist, but, you know, that other professor who is his friendly competition, oh, he's definitely a narcissist. You see, academic and empirical data needs honesty. Otherwise, and I do mean true honesty here, like even if it makes you look bad, you should still publish the paper here, folks. But, you know, that's my 2 cents there. But here's a video for you people who want to say, well, what's entitlement look like? Here you go.
Come on up. Get out of the car.
No, I live 3 streets down.
Open the door.
No.
Ma'am, I'm not going to ask you again.
I don't know you. What are you talking
Okay, well, I'm a police officer.
Okay, you don't have
You went the wrong way down a one-way street. You don't have a seatbelt on. I'm allowed under federal case law to remove you from the vehicle and have you have your seat in my car.
What are you talking? I just got off work.
Ma'am,
I live 4 streets down the road.
ma'am, I'm going to ask you very nicely to step out of the vehicle, please. Okay, I'm going to break your window and drag you out of the car. I'm legally allowed to do that, ma'am.
For what?
I'm asking you to step out of the car.
I live 3 streets down. I
Okay,
just got off
let me get your driver's license, proof of insurance.
Okay. Down here it is. And these federal police officers are telling me they can break down my windows. Will you please come here?
Can you open it? I need your driver's license, proof of insurance, ma'am.
5 streets from the
I need your driver's license, proof of insurance, ma'am.
Man, I'm scared.
I need your driver's license, proof of insurance, ma'am.
They're not allowed to break my windows.
I need your driver's license, proof of insurance, ma'am. I need your driver's license to prove insurance, ma'am, or you're going to be placed under arrest for obstruction. Ma'am. Ma'am, I'm going to break your window and I'm going to pull you out of the vehicle, and I don't want to do that. And then you'll be under arrest and you will go to county jail. Do you understand? Radio. I got a non-compliant driver. Would you get the fuck out of here? Female's refusing to get out of the car. Roll the window down. This is not your traffic stop. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to break your window. Open the door. Open the door, ma'am. You are under arrest for obstruction of justice. Open the...
Well, as you can see from that video, was that entitlement or was it narcissism? Frankly, I'm going to go with narcissism more. Well, no, excuse me. I said that the wrong way. No, I mean, that's entitlement more than I believe narcissism. Now, I can hear a few saying, okay, Ghost Hunter, what's the deal with the video? To make a long story short, she was dating a drug dealer. The cops didn't find the guy, but she had methamphetamines in the car. The cop did have to break the window. I edited it down for length and also to make sure that I didn't get any sort of YouTube trouble.
Our forces are under attack.
But, she basically got time served, about $5,000 in fines, or was it $2,000 in fines? I don't remember off the top of my head. And she also had to pass 3 drug tests consecutively. She didn't, what she got was a problem, sure, but she basically got a slap on the wrist, essentially. Now, I can hear a lot of people saying, okay, Ghost Hunter, so the first girl was a narcissist. It seemed more like she was entitled. Well, again, we can't necessarily know the difference 100% because people who are entitled tend to have narcissistic traits. While on the flip side, most narcissists can act like entitled people or are entitled. You never know. I mean, you want a really big example of a narcissist? Think of, Christian Bale in American Psycho. If anybody did better than him, if anybody did this, anybody did that, he would end them. Because how dare they be better than him? I'm not here to sit here and say that everybody is like this. It's like, oh, how dare you? You dare insult me? You dare look better than me? Oh, I'm going to find a way to mess with you, man. Oh, I'm going to find a way to mess with you. I'm going to make sure you look so bad, not even your mama will look at you. I'm not saying everybody out there is like this. They're not. I'm pretty sure of it. Well, I hope anyway. But, again, this is my 2 cents here. Now, how do you deal with these people? Well, there is such a myriad of things you can and cannot do. It's really and truly hard to say, to be honest here, folks. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you don't believe me, go over to Reddit and look up r/raised by narcissists and r/entitled parents, entitled people, r/raised by entitled parents. There is just a bucket list of people who have put up and dealt with people like this. So, the list is as long as you can get it. But if you want my 2 cents here, number one, if you have to maintain minimum contact, don't speak to them, don't talk to them, just keep it to the minimum. Why keep it to the minimum? You do one little thing wrong, next thing you know, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. So with that in mind here, but that's for the truly crazy narcissists. As for the entitled people, they'll scream at you, they'll yell at you, they'll call the police on you. They'll do everything within their perceived ability to put you in your place because you dared to defy me. That's not going to stand, essentially. And, these people have been known to file lawsuits. And, granted, in some case, a lot of cases, you get a lawyer, they look it over, and it's like, yeah, this is crap. They've got nothing. So it's like, okay, well, we're safe there for the moment, but you still got to go to court. You still got to pay for your attorney's fees and everything. Because not all judges will always sit there and award you attorney's fees. Some will, some won't. And if they call the cops on you, that is very much, do you have a recording? Do you have anything to prove that whatever they're accusing you of you didn't do? You've got to have some measure of proof to protect yourself. I really hate to say that, but you have to protect yourself from these people. Why? Because sadly, there appear to be more and more of them every day. Well, that's probably a bit hyperbolic. Personally, I think it depends on your area and the level of affluence of your area. So, who knows? To be bluntly honest there, who really knows? But the point is protect yourself. If it's a parent, a sibling, most stories you hear about this, they end up cutting them off because, my sibling's such an ASS, that I don't even want to be around them. Now, some people may ask, is there any way to cure these people? Well, if you bring reality crashing down on an entitled person, who's to say what they might or might not do? If it's the situation sink or swim, they'll find a way to swim. Will it cure them of their attitude? Probably not. But, they'll probably think twice before messing with at least you again. A nice big slice of humble huckleberry pie. As Grandpappy used to say, a nice serving of humble huckleberry pie does wonders for the one's soul. So, with that in mind, here, there's not a lot you can do. Even as I've explained, even as I've said with my therapist, people who want to change. People who don't want to change, they don't. Someone wants to be better, they'll do better. They don't want to be better, they won't. Simple as that, folks. Now, that's, best, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. My 2 cents here, if they're your family and you've cut them off because of the shenanigans of the past, well, keep them cut off and leave it there. Don't engage, just walk the heck away. Save yourself the trouble. And again, you know, minimum contact, because you never know. They could just be waiting around the corner for you, man. Oh, hello, Mr. Birdie. So, with that in mind here, you know, this is always very, very situational. And, you know, as for the guys out there who sit there and say, gee, you sound like you're describing modern women, well, the thing that's a bit unfair about hoisting this on modern women, frankly, here, is the fact that the shows like Whatever, Fresh and Fit, you know, what other ones are there? There are a couple of other ones that, you know, they bring on that specific subset of woman that acts this way. They don't, you know, although I will give the Whatever podcast its credit here that it does tend to bring on women of the counterpoint. But then again, you know, that's maybe one, while the rest of the table are the women who you would think the way of entitlement and narcissism. So, you know, I'll give credit to the Whatever podcast for that. But, you know, Fresh and Fit, they bring on one specific subset of woman, sadly. So, you know, people will sit there and say, Ghost Hunter, all you do is hate on women. I don't hate on women. I'm just bluntly honest with how women are. I don't sugarcoat it. You want sugar? Go read Cosmopolitan if you want sugar and donuts. I serve cold hard facts here. And I try to keep my facts straight. But, you know, protect yourself. You know, because you never know what one of these people are going to do. You know, I've brought up cops, lawsuits, you know, everything under the sun that some people can do to wreck your life. They will. They damn well will. I don't say this out of jest. I really don't. So, with that being said here, folks, you know, I'm not going to sit here and cotton babble about all of this. But, you know, do the basics. Protect yourself. Make sure you don't do anything stupid like, oh, I don't know, punching somebody out. Don't do it. Just flat out, just don't do it. Even if they deserve it, don't do it, frankly. So, with that being said here, these are my 2 cents. I'm not a lawyer. You want a lawyer? You want to ask a lawyer's opinion? Ask them yourself. It's called a phone call, folks. But in any case, everybody, this is Ghost Hunter 385 signing off. I will see everybody in the next video.